Hello everyone and welcome back, my people. There is fire on the mountain. Breaking news. ICC admits genocide of Christians in Nigeria and then dares Trump to intervene. ICC openly admits to carrying out a genocide against Christians in Africa and mock Donald Trump's threat to intervene. The terror group, now called defending Christians, is an act of hatred against Islam and warned its fighters not to underestimate U.S. forces. They now boasted that U.S. involvement could drag America into endless wars from Damascus to Africa. This is not linked, this is not this person said, this person said. It is an official confession published in ICC own weekly, in their website. These people are sending warning to US and Donald Trump that if they mistakenly intervene in what is happening in Nigeria, that there will be endless war. My people, where are the terrorist sympathizers? Those that are going up and down with their propaganda that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria, this and that. People that are buying people directly, this one no be their sponsor. So people that are buying people are not telling you that yes, there is Christian genocide in Nigeria, that is their agenda. That is what they want to do, to wipe out all the Christians in Nigeria. Wonder they say shall never end. Let's look at some of the reactions from Nigerians concerning this particular breaking news. This person said, "It is chilling to see ICC openly admit to the genocide of Christians, mocking any potential intervention, and yet this is only underscores the urgent need for global action and a strong response to protect innocent lives. God, please have mercy on your children who are being persecuted around the world. Let their death not be in vain, and strengthen those who remain. Oh God, take what the enemy meant for evil and turn it for good." And another person said, now that ICC themselves have claimed there is indeed Christian genocide going on in Nigeria and that the Islamic terrorists are responsible, what will the now disgraced government of now disgraced country would say to counter this claim? And this person said, "This is pure evil. The world must stand united against terrorism and this horrific admission of genocide. No justification for such barbarism." And this person said, "The entire world has known about this agenda for a very long time. The challenge has been lack of visionary leadership and the courage to confront the demon. Thank for the Donald Trump." My people, we are really in big trouble in Nigeria. If US did not come and save Nigerians right now, because this thing is going to another level, my people, to the extent of the terrorists sending warning to the US that if they try to come to Nigeria, as in to save Nigeria, there will be endless war. Anyway, my people, make allow you guys to watch these videos and hear what Nigerians are saying concerning this matter, especially the statement Donald Trump made about Nigeria. So listen and do well to subscribe, like, share the video, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for doing so.
Mr. Donald Trump, the President of the United States of America, has offered some kind of intervention in what is clearly Nigeria's persistent insecurity. To join me in that very critical conversation today, I have the former managing director of the Guardian newspaper, who is currently a columnist, Mr. Martin Oloja. Brother Martin, welcome back to Inside Sources.
Thank you.
So let's just start. How do you read, the way people are talking about Mr. Trump's intervention? What's your own reading of it, and what do you think ought to be the right perspective?
I am worried as a journalist that in this time and age, when the social media has democratized access to information, that people are using the same media to deny reality. And the people are exaggerating what the President of the United States has promised to do. He only promised to help us deal with terrorists who have been dealing with Christians in this place. He didn't say in any tweet anywhere that he was coming to invade Nigeria for anything.
I don't think so.
But you know, the people are now using the media to say, oh, he's interested in our oil. It's an economic issue. Why did he want to do it? They did this one in Libya. They did this in Iraq. They did this in, why is he interested? And he has failed. And they are using the same media to get even some people who have become crisis merchants in Nigeria to be using misinformation and disinformation. And they are making us to believe that we do not like the president, that they are targeting the president. No. This problem began long before even 2009 when Boko Haram manifested itself.
True.
It began before that. But since that way, it has become an international dimension. So many things have happened that people are now denying. Are people denying that, oh, there was no Christian, there has been no genocide on Christians? If we want to begin primarily, my brother, where is Leah Sharibu since 2018? Of 113 captives. Like that. She was singled out because she denied her faith.
Yeah, they refused to release.
She refused, they wanted her to deny her faith. They refused to release her till date. You attended so many media security meetings, even under Buhari, where I asked this question more than 5 times. Where is there? They have been promising. They left her because she's a Christian. We heard that she's given birth. Her father is still in the police force.
Wow.
It was this same Reno Omokri who found out when there was a Reno Omokri. He was the one who found out about the identity of her father, that is actually from Adamawa State, a Christian from Adamawa State, serving in Yobe State. And the mother was there, who had been, the President Buhari promised everybody that she will be released. It's still not released. Nobody knows her whereabouts. What happened to Deborah in Sokoto College of Education, who thanked God online for enabling her to finish her exam as any Christian would have done? They stoned her to death in this same country. And even lawyers were trooped out to say we will break out from MBA if we will not allow us to defend the people who stoned her to death. No one is in detention. Nobody has been prosecuted. What happened? So many things have happened like that. Why are there so many people? I would want to deny that we do not have IDP camps. There are so many of them in this Abuja. So many of them in the places, 2 states that they have targeted, Benue and Plateau, Christian dominated. You know the place of Jos as the capital of Plateau State, even in Christendom here. You know that Benue State too is Christian dominated. Why do terrorists target Christians in that place? Why do they allow, what happened to all those people in IDP camps who occupied their natural habitat, the place God the Almighty gave them to live? Why can't they return? Who are the people occupying those places? So this thing is so complex, but as a journalist, we are not allowed to do contextual reporting of all these things, to bring out facts of those people, the villages they have destroyed, people they have killed. There are videos of pregnant women they have killed. They shattered the pregnancy, and all those things. They say nothing happened here. So these are issues. I think it's not about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He inherited all this problem. He began in earnest in 2009 when Boko Haram story became international. But since that time, a lot of things have happened. Then our armed forces, we know their capacity. But look at the budget of this 6.5 trillion, even in this year's budget. Suddenly, the defense budget takes the lion's share of our budget at a time.
Over 12%.
Yes, over 12%. That we need this one for critical infrastructure. Then somebody somewhere, president of the United States, of Republican Party, and you know their principles. They are conservative people. They were the people who influenced even the writing of their constitution, and the constitution they put in God we trust. So they don't deny it. That is what they defend wherever Christians are traumatized, are molested, anywhere in the world. And he has said this one, no, this one we have had. You know, you recall that even in 2018,
Right.
or thereabouts, even it was President Buhari himself who revealed in a private meeting he had with President this
Trump.
in his first term.
That was the first time, yes.
First time that we heard that they are slaughtering Christians in your country. He said, no, sir. It was President Buhari himself who revealed it. It didn't start yesterday. Why are they denying this thing and saying that we should not take out terrorists in this place, that we should negotiate with them? Where in the world will you bring terrorists that you say you are looking for to be negotiating with them, to hold meeting, and they're gone? Who approved the guns they carried to meeting in Katsina for them? This is our country. It's not about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has tried all that he can do to end this thing. We have seen revelation where people were talking about how the then president, Goodluck Jonathan, brought in machinery and he was trying to finish the job.
Yeah.
And they stopped him because they didn't want crisis merchants in this country, and people who do not love this country are denying reality.
Okay, so Mr. Oloja, we also have inside information, although we won't mention names, that there are people in the Nigerian military who want to finish the terrorists, and that they were restrained by political appointees in this government. It's been reported, for instance, that there was a time they almost got Bello Turji within their range, but they were altered, and several other instances like that. What that tells me is that it's either there is no courage or sufficient courage inside government, or there is collusion. How can the president solve that situation? Because we can't have two sets of standards.
So we are saying in the media, we are saying through this medium that Mr. President should summon up courage.
Yeah.
Should have the political will to discern this fact that there are some people who do not want these crises to end. I call them, what others have called them, crisis merchants. I do not believe that we do not have capacity in the military to crush this. We have had this thing you are saying, that a particular security chief insisted that these people must be crushed, and that there's another superior person who is trying to protect a territory and a race.
Yeah.
Because the person will not like this thing to end, and then Mr. President, who is a politician who also will face re-election, to buy into it, and they have removed a particular security chief that we have had. This is Nigeria. This is about our country.
Yeah.
Because that person is insisting that these people must be crushed. And now another person is saying, no, let us negotiate with them. They listen to Sheikh Gumi, who is saying that we should be negotiating with them, who is always sitting down with them.
This is the same Sheikh Gumi who went to Saudi Arabia. And they said that the man is a security threat. And then they didn't allow him to come and do his pilgrimage. They sent him back home.
They sent him back home. And it is only in Nigeria that kind of person will be given media space to be repeating the fact that these terrorists are not bad people, that we need to negotiate with them.
It's just,
and then they will invite them into a meeting with their guns. And then the security people will be guarding them. And they will enter their buses and they will drive away like that. And the following day, they will gather before Mr. President to say, this is what we are doing. Mr. President will tell them to crush them, do away with them. But they have been holding meetings with them because of the advice of a particular security chief. It's about our country. It's not about anybody.
It is not.
What we are saying is that they should not give us the narrative that this thing does not exist. Let us straighten the matter.
Right.
We do not want President Trump to come and invade this place.
Clearly.
What we are saying is that Mr. President should do the right thing by getting security people to crush these people. People who are protecting them are enemies of the state, are the enemies of Nigeria.
Right.
People who are advising that the Mr. President should be negotiating with these terrorists. Trump is saying that, look, enough is enough of crushing Christians like that with impunity. In a particular December, they burned St. Teresa Church in Abuja here, at the border here. They have burned so many churches in our war.
Yeah.
They went there. Are there Christians that went to a war to invade the church and killed so many people?
Well,
and so many churches like that where they have destroyed even all these assets, even and human beings in Benue, in Plateau, in so many other places in Nigeria like that. It is not about saying, oh, they have killed Christians, they have killed Muslims. It is collateral damage. Where you heard that they have killed the Muslims. It is those Muslims who didn't believe in the fundamental objective of terrorists. They killed them. Okay. And we are now saying that, oh, no. We are saying, look, we know that we have a responsibility to defend our country. We have a responsibility to stand by the government of our country. But enough should be enough. If we have an authority that is higher, that is saying we are coming to help you, let me ask a question. Who is afraid of this help from Donald Trump?
Yeah. What I wanted us to consider before we conclude on that is that, so I also believe, Mr. Martin, that, look, we can't deny the genocide. But I want us our leadership, to manage it in a way that it doesn't divide us.
So,
because yes, so I've had a lot of friends, my northern friends said, oh, look, I mean, yeah, that's but who is speaking for the Muslim victims? And I said, yeah, of course. There are even instances where you could say that there are more terrorist victims in northern parts of the country because they have more population there.
Yes.
So I think it is important, and then I'll make a comment and then you respond. I think it's important that our leadership, particularly the president, can speak up and say, look, whether they are Christians or they are Muslims, we want to end this. What is the importance of that ability for all of us to come together, Mr. Oloja?
You see, the first thing is even a consideration of the fact that welfare and security of the people.
Yeah.
The president should know, and it's there in the Constitution, shall be the primary purpose of government. And if the people are not secure, whether they are Christians or Muslim, it's a burden.
Right.
And it's a responsibility. And the president must fulfill that responsibility to ensure that everybody, it's not about Christian, it is not about Muslim. Everybody is secure in this country. Let me tell you about the implication of division, if it is not properly managed. If the way they are putting the narrative in Western press, they say Christian South, Muslim not. It's not correct.
It's not accurate.
It's not accurate. There are so many Christians in the there are so many
in the north.
In the north. Muslims in the south. So if we now cut it off, and we now these Christians that they say that President Trump is trying to protect, if you cut them into the north, they will be more vulnerable. It will cut them off from their southern counterparts. They will be more vulnerable to violence. These people will finish them. It's in our interest to be together. We should not encourage anything that will divide us. And so our brothers and sisters, whose God is their belly, and they are encouraging propaganda to deny, in order to deny the truth, they should note that there are problems. There are problems. Let me tell you, even immediately, the problem that Mr. President should note, even in the north, that are not in the media at all. There is a local government in Bauchi State that is Christian dominated. They call it Tafawa Balewa local government.
Okay. You
know that under Issa Yuguda as governor, he should hear this.
Okay.
They unilaterally relocated the headquarters of local government listed in the constitution to Bununu. From Tafawa Balewa to Bununu. And the only Christian member of the House of Assembly in that place, only Christian member, a female Christian member of the House of Assembly was suspended for criticizing that illegal relocation by the State Assembly. She was suspended, and that was barely a year after the inauguration of the session of their State Assembly. They suspended her till the end of that session for 3 years.
Wow.
Do you know that what you will not read in the media was that they took the case to court, the State High Court sided with the state government against the Constitution. The State High Court.
Wow.
It was only on 30th September 2025 We will not read it in the media. 30th September,
Couple months ago.
barely 2.5 months ago, that the Court of Appeal in Jos quashed that decision of the High Court and the Assembly, and they cited an example in Ekiti State that no individual, no institution has the right to relocate
The headquarters
of a local government as it is listed in the Constitution.
But why did Governor Yuguda, then Governor Yuguda, why did he do that?
He did that one because that is what they do to Christian-dominated areas.
So they removed the local government headquarters from a Christian-dominated place.
To a Muslim-dominated area. So you also have state terror to fight. Our leaders who are making noise in Abuja, they do a lot of things that are not reported in the media about the North. Have we seen it in the North that it is quite impossible? Last year, I met a girl from Gwoza local government in Borno State, who obtained 277 in a UTME, and was trying to obtain certificate of citizenship from liaison office of Borno State in Abuja here. And could not. They told her to go to, because she is originally from Gwoza, is from an IDP camp. She only managed to get that mark. Was not admitted at the University of Abuja here, I am telling you. Wow. But while trying to secure admission to read law at the University of Abuja, she went to Borno State Liaison Office in Abuja here to obtain...
She's an indigent of Borno State.
They told her to go back to Gwoza to obtain the certificate, but they were giving the same certificate to Muslims from Borno State in the same office before her very eyes. Wow. A police officer got there and said, this is how I have to use another Muslim person to obtain a certificate for me in this office, a serving police officer, female serving police officer that I met. So there are so many issues. Most of the children of Christians from this northern state, you see, this is a very complex issue.
It is.
Very complex issue. Most of these children of Christians from so many northern states cannot get admission to read medicine, law, or these computer science engineering courses, even if their parents, I have so many of them as friends, even if their parents are professors in certain universities, they changed one from medicine to Christian religious knowledge. Arbitrarily, these things are not in the media. We deny this reality in the media about what Christians in the North have been suffering.
Okay, thank you so much. It's a very good place to stop. We hope that we can sort out these differences. And if there are people who want to say that, look, there's another side to this story, we are hoping to also balancing it out. But this, Mr. Oloji has pointed out to quite a lot of issues that are under the surface, that is also brewing this divisive rhetoric. But like I think we can both agree that our leadership has to make sure that there's unity. And
that there's unity, no division. I reiterate it. We do not like another country's president to be solving the problem that we can solve. We haven't been able to solve this problem because there is corruption within the security architecture that they have drawn up, and people, operatives, who have been made to do. We understand that our people have the capacity to crush terrorists, but some state forces are stopping them for reasons known to them.
Let's hope that with the new leadership, the new service chief, they have a new opportunity.
Well, definitely, and he will promise that one. I will crush insecurity and this one within a very short time. Let him make good his promise.
Exactly. The new chief of defense staff, the new chief of army staff, and all the other service chiefs, they have a unique opportunity to solve this problem. I believe, I agree with you, that Mr. Trump's intervention is actually a fillip. Yes. Something that can help us solve this problem.
To solve this problem, and it should not just we should not just be insulting him that he's not. Say, I want to help you. Let's get this help and move on to direct defense vote to building critical infrastructure in our country.
Right. Thank you so much.
So let me start with you, Peter. Trump's statement has split opinions. There are those who say that he had no right to tell us how to rule our country, and there are those who are like, maybe we need somebody to come and tell us what we need to do. So there's a split. But what's your view? What does his comment reveal about our national security at large?
Thank you very much for having me. I think I stand with the Nigerian people. I stand with the victims of this senseless killing and, of innocent Nigerians, and whatever pressure that will be needed to put on our government to do what they ought to do should be done. I think the events of the last few days have been a monumental tragedy. It's a disgrace on every level that it took the intervention of a foreign government to put pressure on the Nigerian government to take seriously what the Constitution describes as the primary responsibility of government, which is the protection of life and property of the citizen. And nobody should question the intervention of the United States. The current president, where they were in opposition, they went in 2014 to the United States of America on the same killing of Nigerians, demanding or requesting for intervention. And so when a man's house is on fire, with whoever that helps to put it out, that is the interest of the person. So as it is today, the question is, the US president said the Nigerian government should move fast. So the pressure should be on the Nigerian government to move fast, because I mean, if it went other climes, there should be some resignations at this point. Because when you have a series of events where citizens are being killed and there is no action from the leadership, or rather actions that seem to suggest that leaders are rather complicit in protecting criminals or giving them, a soft landing as against protecting innocent citizens, I think it is a monumental tragedy. And whatever that needs to be done, I mean, we are able to take grants and loans and whatever from the United States of America, so we should be able to take their warning and move fast. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, wherever you are, you should move fast to end these killings.
Why are Nigerians angry at the messenger instead of the message? Do you understand? It's pride now replacing urgency in our country. And then secondly too, they keep going on about, it's not just Christians that were killed, it's also Muslims. But the truth of the matter is that nobody is talking about the originators of the killings themselves.
Very important. I mean, it is not about whether being angry at the messenger or taking the message. You cannot even be angry at the messenger because, as the other, my colleague has rightly said, there is a responsibility to protect under the United Nations Charter, and that a foreign government can step in. The US has invested a lot. A lot of our military officers are trained in the US, trained to handle their equipment. They sell most of our weaponry hardware, come from the United States. And if the government of the state seems to be folding their arms while these kind of issues are going on, perceived genocide, and all of these kind of hate crimes and events, there is a responsibility to step in. And then if we talk about, Muslims being killed and Christians being killed, the fundamental question will be, who is carrying out the killing?
Exactly.
And then if we now agree, because what it seems now is like, it is more shameful. Our response is not that there are no killings. It's that, US, you are not even saying it as bad as it is.
Yes.
So Christians are being killed, Muslims are being killed. Now the question will be, if Christians are being killed, Muslims are being killed, who has a problem with coming in to take out the killers?
Exactly.
I think there should be a mutual agreement that, look, everybody is a victim of this issue, and then the terrorists themselves should be taken out. Who are the sponsors of terrorism? Who are the beneficiaries of terrorism?
That's a big question.
Because there is a track record. President Buhari, under President Jonathan, terrorists were almost confined to the forest. We had the infamous Sambisa forest. Today, under the APC government, terrorists are holding stakeholder meetings with security officials and government. So we have a situation where we have security and insecurity officials holding meetings, brandishing
and giving
arms,
advice.
and giving advice on how it should be run. President Buhari took out $1 billion from excess crude account and invested in insecurity. Somehow it exploded. When it was under Jonathan, where the President Tinubu now called on the competence of President Jonathan and asked him to resign, insecurity was almost localized within the northeastern region. Under the APC, the military is in active service across 36 states and the FCT. So right now, as it is, the question will be, what exactly is being done? And then you come as a president under this kind of administration, you outsource issues of defense to the National Security Advisor, and guess what? The president is chairing the Ministry of Petroleum. In a country where the last time President Tinubu traveled on a vacation, more than 100 persons were killed in a space of 2 days. That president is heading Ministry of Petroleum and not Defense as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. So when you see this level of mischief across board, people are being killed, bandits will hold peace deal, the next day they are also carrying out attacks. It calls to question the capacity of the government to protect its people. Okay. So the same question that President Tinubu asked the Goodluck Jonathan administration should be thrown to him. Has the APC-led federal government lost the capacity to protect Nigerians? If so, then they should take the advice they gave to that administration. But if not, please heed the advice of Mr. President Donald Trump and move very quickly to end this killing.
Okay. There's a news flash. The governor candidate of All Progressive Party Congress in the Anambra State election, Chief Nicholas Ukachukwu, is about to cast his vote as we join our correspondent Andy Omano. Islam from extremism, because how do we do that without demonizing peaceful Muslims themselves?
Yes.
But yet at the same time not allowing extremists to hide behind religion. How do we find a balance?
We must be honest with ourselves as a people. There are the majority of Muslims. I have Muslim friends. We relate with them. They are peace-loving people who just want a country to thrive. The question is, there is a problem when you always need to say that a religion is a religion of peace. That statement in itself, because religion should not be otherwise. And the leadership of, the northern part of the country must be honest with themselves. Is illiteracy and certain social vices being weaponized against the people? What kind of Islam, we must ask ourselves, is practiced in Qatar? What kind of Islam is practiced in Saudi Arabia? What kind of Islam is done in United Arab Emirates and in Bahrain that are moving technologically, growing and prosperous for across the citizens? How has our own religion only turned out to produce insecurity, poverty? How many of the children of the elite northerners are engaged in the kind of Almajiri system that they push forward? So we must come to the understanding that every person who is at the baseline, who is not at the upper class of society, is a victim. Religion is only being used as a cloth to cover. Both Christians are being killed, Muslims are being killed. And if you know truly, remember the incidents that happened when Deborah Yakubu was killed in Sokoto State, Usman Danfolo. Yes, stoned to death. Who was arrested? How many people were prosecuted? Some northern leaders who put out a tweet had to delete it for fear of backlash. There is a problem with that kind of society. In 2016, Deaconess Olawale Eunice, a Redeemed Christian Church of God evangelist in Kubwa, was butchered to death. Who was arrested? Who was prosecuted? The vice president in that administration was a redeemed pastor. What was done about it? So when there is a track record of a failure of the judicial system where there is selective justice, then everybody becomes a victim. At this point now, if Christians, or there is a perception there is Christian genocide, and then Muslims also believe that Muslims are being killed, is it not an opportunity for everybody to unite and say, look, we are all victims, let us take this out? So it lies on the leadership of even both religious sectors and also the people to know that in the end of all of this, when all is said and done, those of us who do not have the opportunity, in Nigeria, one of the offenses you will commit is to be poor. Whether you are Islam or Christian, the only person who that Sharia one time has caught was somebody who stole, his hand was amputated. A governor in the north was caught on camera receiving dollar and stacking inside Babariga. The president at the time said that the video was probably doctored. So laws are meant for the poor. So you can even recite the Quran from back to back, but when it comes to the issue of dispensing of justice, you may not be held to the same standard with an elite or somebody of opportunity.
It's good that you mentioned that, because there's also the speculation that some people in power actually encourage this conflict because they use it to their advantage. What's your take on that? There are also those who believe that the governors of these states where these things happen should be sanctioned one way or the other when these occurrences do come to pass.
Anti-rules. I think it was the late Sani Abacha who said when insecurity lasts beyond 24 hours, then there should be the hand of government in it.
Yes.
The former Nigeria Minister for Defense, our first Minister for Defense, T.Y. Danjuma, stood on a platform in Taraba and made a bold statement. He said the military, they are not neutral. They collude with the terrorists. A minister for defense. What was the investigation that was carried out? We have seen pictures and videos and allegations of where terrorists were found in certain government houses and nothing was done about it. So when there is a perception that instead of protecting life of citizens, persons in government, why is it that insecurity has become almost a multinational economic investment? The more money you pour into it, the more it increases. So definitely it has become business. So if you can allow this kind of criminality to fester, the same Nigerian government that rejected the intelligence of the United States decided to start Operation Safe Corridor. How do you do repentant terrorists in the middle of a war when the victims of their killings and terrorism are still languishing in internally displaced person camps in conditions that are subhuman? That same country was spending billions rehabilitating known terrorists, allegations with even engaging them into the country's armed forces, and you say there is no collusion. You cannot say you are neutral. So until Nigerians realize that this is beyond what is being said is less than what is not said. For the past, you know how many days now you can see the government running from pillar to post. For 2 years, you needed President Trump to tell you before you can appoint diplomats. We had no ambassadors manning our embassies across the country. The president they are more concerned with trying to pull people from one party and entering into the APC so that you can begin to sing on your mandate you shall fall. It is a colossal failure and a shame, but Nigerians must wake up and save ourselves.
Okay. Let me get to our Abuja guest. So Chidi, you've heard what Peter has had to say so far, but I want to ask, because there was an allegation that an American captive was once held by Boko Haram, and America within 2 days, not 2 months, not 2 weeks, within 2 days rescued their citizen. So what I want to now ask is that if the US can rescue its citizens inside Nigeria within days, what stops deeper intelligence sharing? What stops it? What stops them sharing that with us? Is it lack of trust or political obstruction? I'm confused.
Well, I mean, picking up just one victim of kidnap is not the same as dealing with the entire, gamut of the kidnap industry.
No, it's the length of time in which it was done.
Monumental.
In the length of time in which it was done, this was 2 days. So that means, obviously...
In any case, I mean, look, I get your point, but the thing is, we have to really come down to where we are. We are Nigeria. We're not United States of America. We have not gotten the kind of technology that they have.
But we can
what we should be talking about now is how do we... Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm coming to. You got it spot on. The point we are right now is the point where we can, seek for robust collaboration with America and other powers that have the capability to help us. As it is now, it's not. I don't think that doing it alone, by us, is the right way to go. But I will always urge that this idea of this excitement about America coming to do the job for us without our permission is not the best way to go. What we should talk about is how do we develop a robust structure to see a collaboration between America and Nigeria to see that they can share their technology, share their intelligence, share their their experience, and then probably give us those leverages that can help us. I do not foresee a situation where we have foots on the ground or have American, military camps across Nigeria. It never spells good for us. But look, the goal is actually to see how we can surmount these security challenges across the country. So any way the Americans can help us by making sure that we defeat terrorism is what every discerning Nigerian is talking about. But you see, we'll have to look at the bigger picture. Yes, you consider the immediate. Yes, you see the leadership failures. Yes, you see the incapabilities of some of our security agencies. Yes, you see the poor security architecture that have made it possible for us to rely only on the military, playing down on the role of the police. We have to see that we have to stop that idea that the military, the security, the intelligence and response agencies are not collaborating well. How do we threaten this? These are the issues we should be talking about now. I've gone beyond the excitement about the fact that Americans say they are coming. I don't think that's what should be exciting us. What should be talking about right now is how do we make sure that beyond the euphoria, beyond that anticipation, that we can get something on a sustainable basis without actually impugning on integrity of our sovereignty. This is what every nation should look at. I'm looking beyond the immediate administration, because I mean the crisis didn't start now. Now, if you look at the charges from the American side, that they actually talked about from 2009. So meaning that this thing has been a cumulative issue that have come to a boil now. So I am looking at where we are right now and where we ought to be in the nearest future. But of course, I'm mindful of the fact that a lot of Nigerians need that respite. There are people who are actually under terrible condition, that brought about by these security challenges. So any which way that we can stem the tide is welcome by me. But I'm only saying, let us look at the bigger picture. If we think that the best thing to do is to bring foreign boots on ground, at the end of the day, it might turn out not to be the best option. That's exactly what I'm trying to make.
Thank you so much.